2:00 and we have a quorum. So I'm going to call the joint meeting for the Rules and Open Government Committee and Committee of the Whole to order. And Tony, can we have a roll call, please?
Arenas?
Here.
Cohen?
Here.
Davis? Peralez?
Here.
Jones?
Present.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to start out. We don't have a meeting next week, so we're going to start out with the meeting on Tuesday, March 1st. And we are going to start out on pages 4 and 5. Six and 7. Eight and 9. 10 and 11. 12 and 13. 14 and 15. 'And that's it. So we're going to go to the public first. First public speaker is Brian.
Hello, thank you, Vice Mayor Brian Darby. Just wanted to say thanks for the consent calendar. Appreciate it. Just another thing on the consent calendar. If we do want an item pulled, I understand why we can't do it from within here. We contact our representative, and if they feel it's justifiable, they can pull it still. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's all I need. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Tessa?
Right. Okay, well, the issues that I was dealing with are there was the park sustainability, and that's on the agenda. And you know, that little thing that you and Brian, whoever Brian is, we don't have his name, we don't know his email, we don't know his phone, we don't even know his last name. And so that's another issue that I will.
Tessa, please refrain from talking about the other public commenters.
Oh, well, who makes you the king? Okay, so anyway, That's ridiculous. And I will address that issue under public record in terms of democratic practices. And I don't need to hear that from you, Tony, at all. Who made
Tessa?
that rule? Okay,
Tessa?
so anyway, I'm dealing with the public, what it says it, public record appeal. I think we're dealing with the agenda, right? We're dealing with the agenda, correct?
That's
And
correct.
so, okay, good. I don't know why it says public record appeal. That's wrong. And so basically what I'm talking about is about the park sustainability. And we need to really, that's a very important issue. And, you know, we're talking about an ecological collapse. That is what we're facing. And so we need to make radical change, not change around with fossil fuels, change around, they call it incremental change. We need radical systemic change. And so when we have our parks, they need to be growing food. They need to be, and this needs to be a program throughout our city. Like in Canada, there's a city, I can't remember the name, but Vancouver, that requires composting. Every one of us needs to compost. And then the garden, you know, I hear that Ellery Middlebrook of Middlebrook Gardens is going to be teaching the gardeners in the parks department. Yes, that should go forward. We need to be growing food, and we need to do that at the Guadalupe Gardens. That I love the idea of growing food everywhere, and she teaching us how to grow food. That's what they should be doing. All the landscaping should be about food production.
All right, Blair?
Hi, Blair Beekman here. Thanks for the agenda for March 1st. You have items about talking about use of force issues and reports, how to work with reports after the George Floyd riot situations. Thanks for this work. I mean, we're really trying to work on the ideas of reimagine health and human services and racial equity to address the future of our city issues. It's not too difficult of a stretch to be working towards these goals and ideals, and that's what makes our lives kind of interesting and hopeful at this time, actually, with all this COVID stuff that I hope we're really interested in and want to continue to work on. What's not often included in the items I just mentioned is the ideas of openness and accountability, how those two items can really offer an incredible amount of hope and help to the ideas of reimagine and health and human services ideas and racial equity at this time. You just had a measure on the digital billboard issue yesterday. An important component to that is simply the future of innovation, and that it being placed in the downtown area, there'll be
Hey, Blair?
Yes. I have a particular point to make, that you're avoiding talking about the openness and accountability of the data that will be involved with those sort of billboard matters, and we're not doing that.
Blair, I have to let you go, Blair. Sorry.
No, I've got.
You gotta stay on topic. All right, no other public speakers, so bringing it back to the committee. Before I entertain a motion, I gotta give Lee my usual question, and that is, Lee, have you fully, gone through this agenda and leveled out the items to make sure that we don't have an agenda that's too packed?
Yes, Vice Mayor. Lee Wilcox, Assistant City Manager. So we have gone through this agenda and moved things, sprinkled them throughout March where we have the ability to do that. So the items on the agenda are items that should be heard legally or prior to the budget process starting.
Fantastic. Thank you,
I'll move
Lee.
to approve the agenda.
All right, can I get a second? All right, it's been moved and seconded. Tony?
Arenas,
Yes.
Cohen,
Aye.
Davis,
Yes.
Peralez,
Yes.
Jones.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, on to the consent calendar. I'm going to go to the public first. And Blair, go ahead.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. I want to speak on the public record. I thought that was next.
It's part of the consent calendar.
Public record is, really?
Yes.
Well, that's odd, Chappie Jones. You know, I think you really you're over attacking me lately, and I'm pretty tired of it. You know, I think I'm doing a pretty commendable job. I perhaps needed to bring it in just a tad, but I think you need to be questioning how you run a meeting. You are not allowing me the
Claire,
space.
You
Yes,
need to,
ma'am.
speakers, it says on the screen, speakers' comments should be addressed to the full body.
Okay, but I am speaking that I'm being gypped out of my time when I'm
No, you're
speaking
not.
on a
The
very
agenda-
important point.
Last week,
I'm
the rules,
I'm
last week,
speaking in a very elegant way about the subject matter, and so I will stop now and go on proceeding. But this is an issue we have to be talking about further. I'm not being allowed a
Blair,
decent
if you don't
space.
speak to the public record.
And I
I'll have to-
will, and here I go. Public record time. I want to speak on public record that I want to continue the process of what can be an open public meeting process. We've made some good beginning first steps, I think. The meeting minutes are now being better addressed. The items are being placed on the agenda before 12:30 now, a bit more. Today it was at 12:30. I hope you can really budget your time to place the future agenda items for rules and open government at 11:30. I hope we will work on that sort of effort. And the issues that I keep bringing up about how a public meeting should be run, Paul keeps bringing up. He has items and orders of the day he wants to talk about, and that I think he has somewhat of a legitimate right to. But the mayor has developed such a confused discretionary system that I am continuously trying to develop a simple system that can help out and make clear a process to allow 1 minute of public comment for the beginning public items on that subject. I hope we can continue to talk about this, and I am offering procedurally very good ideas at this time, and you guys keep denying them. You have to address this. Thank you.
All right, Brian?
Oh, thank you. I was looking at the public record. If we make a public records request and you don't feel it was, I don't feel it was answered fully, the next process is to make that request more formal. And then if I disagree with that, then I bring it before this committee. Is that right?
Brian, reach out to me directly and I can walk you through the.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'm done.
All right. Tessa?
Okay, well, the confusion there was that you were saying, Chappie, that the public record and the consent calendar were together. So that bothered Blair because Blair has been keeping track of everything. And so it's questionable. Blair is my teacher of democracy. I trust Blair to know what is going on. And so the thing is that needs to be looked at. And this is why I'm commenting on Blair's letter about democracy, okay? And so what is happening is that even with our city clerk, first of all, not having a time that agenda is posted, that is known, so I don't have to look every half hour to see if it's there. I am not being paid. You guys are, and she is. She needs to have it on time, and we all know what time it is there. So I don't have to check. And if she doesn't put it on time, then she gets a demerit for that. And maybe she gets whatever. But, it should be a time thing. And then on top of it, this whole thing, the county, when I went to the county meeting, there is public comment in the beginning of the meeting. And that is not there in our meetings. It's not in the beginning of our meetings. So the public can come, and they know they can come at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, whatever. That's when public comment is. And you're not providing that. And now you're changing the rules. And now as we go into this digitization of our democracy, we were talking, and Blair and I were talking about this today, we have a chance to redo it and do it better. So I was thinking today about the cards that we used to give you that would have our name, our email. That should be available to us. I should know Brian's last name. There shouldn't be anonymity. That should be public record. And ideally, it should.
All right, bringing it back to the committee. Can I get a motion, please?
Move approval.
Thank you.
Second,
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Tony?
Arenas,
yes.
Cohen,
Aye.
Davis,
Yes.
Corrales,
Yes.
Jones.
Aye. Thank you. So the next item on the agenda is the nitrous oxide ordinance. And we're going to go to the public first for public comments. And Tessa?
Thank you. I think you cut me off because you didn't like what I was saying, whatever. And I don't appreciate that. And basically nitrous oxide, which is a drug, and how we're dealing with drug regulating. And this is an important issue in our community as we go forward. And nitrous oxide is, wanted to be a controlled substance. And as we look at it, even with marijuana, how we're addressing these issues of controlled substances, and how the issues along with alcohol, how we're allowing alcohol to be in our community. And even if, in terms of guns, I mean, all these things that are problems in our community, how we are regulating it. And it is supposed to be government over business. That has to be our criteria going forward in terms of, because your job is really protecting us from harm. And that is the issue. And then we're dealing with the issue of climate crisis, same issue, because that is the harm that is on the agenda, along with nitrous oxide and all the other harms that are facing us. And the main important thing that I felt like I was cut off in the last talk was that the city record, our minutes are being aborted, that the public comment is not being put into the
Yes.
minutes. And
Yes.
that needs to be done. Okay, good. I'll keep it on track, but I want
Thank
the
you.
public comment in minutes. But anyway, getting back to control, it needs to be government over business. And that is how we're going to go forward to survive. That has to be our criteria, our mantra going forward. And it's not. And we see that with what happened with COVID. You gave our streets to the businesses, and now it's not safe for us to walk on our streets. And you gave them our bike lanes. So this is how you have to look at the decisions you're making, and really always keep that mantra in mind, that your job is to protect us from harm, not make money for businesses. That is not the goal. And and it's right now, that's what we're facing, is the end of life on earth. So
Brian?
Thank you. And Darby is my last name, D-A-R-B-Y. Anyways, I think this is a great ordinance. The other speaker did bring up something, not to sound melodramatic, but the desire to get high is sort of a heart problem as well. And I don't have an answer for that, but she was correct in what she said. We do really have to, and alcohol, because alcohol is even more dangerous than this stuff. So I appreciate that. But thank you for putting this together. I know that kind of stuff's a lot of work, and it's not just something you can do willy-nilly. I know you guys have to, I shouldn't say you guys, ladies and gentlemen, have to check this out, check that out. And we can just say it, and I'm not disagreeing, but it's not as simple as we think it is. And maybe if we could get a timeline on some of this, so we would know just how much work city staff and you put in, we could understand how it inundates you. And that might help us maybe on our side be a little more patient, if that makes sense. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. So before we go to the committee, I know there's an early consideration form. Lee, can you speak to that form, please?
I can, Vice Mayor. The early consideration form posted earlier today, it is a green light. And Chris Burton and Rachel Roberts from PBCE are here for any questions that the committee might have.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, and I want to thank staff for writing this up and making it a green light. This, as I said last week, it's really important for us to get these dangerous substance out of vape and smoke shops, and frankly, hopefully out of the hands of our kids. I did want to give a little bit of an update. I know the county took action on this issue yesterday, and so their staff has been directed to work with our staff on this, and they may have a source of funding that it would be good to look into. I think they have some tobacco settlement money that they were planning to use for this that may be able to be a resource that we could also tap into. So I just wanted to put that out there and make sure you were aware of it. They did pass their referral on this issue yesterday, and the direction was to work with us. So they've been directed to do so. So I'm gonna move my memo with the additional direction for our staff to work with county staff.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Coleman.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank Councilmember Davis for the memo and bringing this forward. We did some field research a month ago and found out how easy it is to access and purchase without any questions asked at smoke shops across our city. So it's important for us to take action on this. And I actually also had a conversation with somebody in the county, and it's great that we're doing this in tandem. They're in the same timeline, and you know, hopefully we can become a model for other cities to do it, so it becomes a countywide ban on this. I think it's fairly straightforward, but I do want to ask, the only question I have, whether it's for Chris or Lee, just timing for how long it takes to come back, because I understand it's green lighted, but there's some work to putting together the ordinance and doing some of the things that needs to be done before it comes to council. So what would be our timeline for coming to council?
I'll go first, council member, then I'm going to hand it off to Rachel. You know, we've just been through a very similar process with the flavored tobacco work. So that's given us a good idea of what's involved and the sort of timeline associated with it. I'd say the sort of critical aspect is obviously the outreach to retailers to ensure they understand the changes that we're making and sort of how this will proceed. And that'll largely drive the timeline on this issue. Rachel, I don't know if you wanted to add to that.
Yeah, I would just say that we are currently in the implementation phase of the flavored tobacco ordinance that was just approved, and we're bringing smoke-free forward in March. So we'll have some implementation around that. So some of this work can start in parallel, but as far as getting us to the point we'll need to be to bring it before council, I'm envisioning that we noted 6 to 9 months in the consideration form, and understanding that we won't be operating on all cylinders just yet for the next month or two, that probably by somewhere between October, November of this year, probably.
So that's when we come back for the first consideration by council, and then it would come back with the final ordinance after that.
Yeah, they usually has a second reading for a new ordinance.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. No other hands. It was moved and seconded. Tony?
Arenas,
Yes.
Cohen.
Aye.
Davis. Davis,
Yes.
Peralez,
Yes.
Jones.
Aye.
And when is this coming back to council?
It's a green light that we're absorbing into existing work. So the actual proposal doesn't need to go to council. As Rachel said,
Okay.
we'll
I
be
just
back
wanna
in the
make sure.
fall in front of council with something more concrete.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. So on to the next item, COVID testing. And we're going to go to public comments first. And Brian, go ahead.
Thank you, Brian Darby. Speaking from the COVID testing, at least at the school district level where I'm at, it's been really helpful. It's helped us really been able to get access to people who required, you know, they tested positive, and then we have, I think the city is doing a good job on it too. If you read the history about, I think we should be thankful that we've actually developed testing, because this could have been a lot worse. We're going to lose, I hate to say it, about maybe 1,200,000 by the time this is over with. And that's a lot of people, but it was a lot better than 5, 6, or 8 million, which was the expectations if we didn't do anything. I just wish our community understood that, but it's been hard for you folks to walk between, you know, freedom and wearing a mask and mandates and all this, and the political aspects of it haven't been helpful. Anyways, thank you.
Thank you. Tessa?
All right, thank you so much. 2 minutes, please. Thank you. All right, good, sweetheart. Yeah. And so basically, you didn't reset it, but that's okay. I guess not. But anyway, basically, COVID testing, you know, and that is a, you know, like Brian Darby, thank you, Brian, love you for that, basically said is that, you know, testing is important. And I guess Raul Perales is saying that as an alternative to requiring vaccinations. And as we're seeing, you know, people having trouble with the vaccination requirement. And I think COVID testing is important, but I know that masking, the science says that masking is very important. And also, you know, staying, you know, 10 feet away, as my girlfriend says, you know, 10 feet, she likes 10 feet, get off her back. And, you know, and so, and I call it, you know, keep your crap to yourself. You know, we need to keep our crap to ourselves. And, you know, and we've seen that actually by wearing masks, we are, you know, there's a lot less diseases going around. Even our flu was really reduced. And so, and we saw that in our schools, that there's so much disease in our schools. And then getting back to that, we really need to go to the virtualization of our schools, even though they say, oh, the kids suffered, everybody was depressed and everything. The reason is that mothers are working. Nobody's home. Nobody's home when the kids are going to be able to work, you know, live at home or you know, study at home. And so that's where we need to have a structural change that supports the women to stay home. And it's universal basic income would hopefully do that. And then we can have, you know, where we're homeschooled and all of us are learning to live sustainably, because that is the most important lesson that we need to teach every human being.
Blair?
Hi, Blair here. This item is an incredibly important agenda item that's going to describe ourselves now and for our future. It is a person, Raul Perales, who he's from the Democratic Party. He's offering to not, he's offering to question the future of the vaccine mandate process. For as important as community health and safety is, he's asking how the vaccine, how the test process each week, a weekly test process can perhaps be a good option for ourselves at this time. That's interesting. And we're trying to consider flexible choices at this time for the future of COVID. So I very much of a thank you that the Councilperson Perales is working towards this. And I think it's the sort of ways of working for our future that we all need to learn how to better understand and address and work towards compromise. Good luck how we can do that. And I think we're finding that. And good luck how we work on this issue. And with my remaining time, I just would like to, you know, to ask Vice Mayor Jones in the same way to learn, you know, to compromise in that I'm trying to offer good procedural ideas during my public comment time. He has to learn to be a bit more forgiving at this time. Thank you.
All right. That's it for public comments. Before we go to the committee, Lee, I also understand that you want to speak to this item as well.
Actually, I think the city attorney is going to speak to the item.
The city, I'm sorry, the city attorney. Nora?
Yes, and there, I think we've talked a little bit about this before, but this is really something that should be going to the council in closed session, at least initially. There may be some labor issues that need to be addressed in dealing with this particular item.
Okay, thank you, Nora. So with that understanding, Councilmember Perales, do you still want to speak to the item?
I was actually raising my hand just to, I had heard obviously that, and I assume that would be the case from city staff. I think it is most appropriate to have the discussion in closed session as we've been having since last year. So I'm comfortable, and that was my hope anyways, was that just that we can move this forward for a discussion in closed session. So I'll make that motion now.
All right. Okay, get a
Second.
second. All right, moved and seconded. Councilmember Cohen?
I guess if we're going to discuss it in closed session, there's no reason to discuss any specifics on the item now. So I'll support moving the discussion to closed session and hold my comments till then.
All right. So it's been moved and seconded. Tony?
Arenas,
Yes.
Cohen,
Aye.
Davis,
Yes.
Peralez,
Yes.
Jones.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, on to open forum. First public speaker is Blair.
Hi, Blair. Thanks for the meeting today. Hopefully I can work out my differences with Vice Mayor Jones. I feel I'm offering imaginative and really helpful and informative public comment. I can stay within the lines of fast. I'm learning how to better do that, and I hope we can do that. For this item, or for the public comment, reminders that, we're working on the COVID issues. I hope we can learn how to talk about the nanotechnology process overall. I've asked yourselves as council persons to really learn how to better talk about that with the community. I think it can be a lot of help, and it would be make for a more clear, understandable conversation, and it would be an honest conversation. The same with the digital technology billboard issue yesterday. You guys would not admit that there will be data collection and surveillance as a part of the new feature of digital billboards. That's why it's being placed in downtown. It's the future of that innovation that's part of the whole innovation program of the mayor. Now, if you do that without talking about its openness and accountability, that's defeating the purpose of our future of technology in a community. And what exactly is innovation? Innovation is simply how to better talk about the openness and accountability practices with technology. It isn't continuously hiding it. It's learning to share that. It's been really hard to do that. That's why it's innovative to learn how to share it. Please learn how to be open in sharing. It's a step and a skill that we all are trying to learn. I'm going through a lot to try to learn it myself. I hope you guys can too. What else is there to say? Boy, I got a lot. Oh, yes. A nice reminder how openness and accountability can relate so well with Reimagine and Health and Human Services, and it can really help the ideas of Vision Zero. Councilperson Esparza, in looking for a new digital technology head yesterday, nicely tried to mention that idea. There's a lot to work on with these issues, and it is openness and accountability. It has to be a part of that future balance.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian Darby again. Thank you, sir. Just something not to be, well, it is to be critical of all of us in a sense. The tragedy of the last month and a half or month, 3 weeks with the deaths in San Jose due to traffic accidents is horrendous. In Vision Zero, I went through and read the entire vision statement, and they have data points and all of that. And I think that's wonderful. And I think they're trying, but obviously it's going in the wrong direction. San Francisco's had 2 or 3 fatalities versus the 16 now. The one person drove off of Highway 280 into the 17. A big minority is speed. And if you drive anywhere in San Jose, people blow through red lights and they speed. I live off of Meridian now, and I go 35, and every day I get followed almost home, flipped off, and a few times I've had things thrown at my car. Now, I don't really mind all that. I do disagree with when people get firearms involved and stuff, and that hasn't happened for a while. And that'll wake you up. But that's the kind of city we live on. You're afraid to even look at anybody on the street. That's a deeper problem than just that. This is merely a symptom of a problem. And as the leaders, we look towards that. And I think I can't speak for Mr. Blair and the other people, but I think that's what they're trying to get at too. And we do a very poor job. I know I do. We're on this pale blue dot together. And I guess this is open forum where we can say that. And that's all of us. And it matters to people in Ukraine. It matters to people in Africa. We either stand or fall together as a species, period. I don't know what city council members can do about that. I'm sure you try to change it. You're all reasonably very nice people. The deaths of so many people has just been really tragic. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Gail?
Sorry. Gosh, these meetings are exhausting. Geez, you guys I don't know how much more of these meetings, but anyway, happy Thursday. Couple of things. Thank you, Vice Mayor. I want to talk about how people are living. I mean, everybody knows about phase 3, what's going on. I don't know if you read the article of Spotlight and the new tragedy that's going on over there. And it is a tragedy. It's of these new rats from Norway, Norwegian rats. And nobody's doing anything. Vector control is out there. Of course, the city didn't know about it. And I was out there and met the gentleman, and I sent the information to one of my contacts from San Jose Beautify, and they got on it. But from there, nobody is out there doing anything. The first time, Vector Control got 4 rats, then they got 16. This is kind of like a health emergency. I mean, something has to be done. People have to be moved somewhere because these rats aren't safe. Some dogs have died from drinking the water that the rats are, and it's nothing is going on. The new council, anyway, I don't want to get into that, but something has to be done. It's horrible. People are scared because of these rats, and I did send an email to somebody from the city, and their comment was, "Oh, we have rats all over the city." True statement. Well, okay, but these are different rats. They're as long as a 10-foot shoe. We measured it, a dead rat. So maybe Councilwoman, you should be stepping up on this and talking to folks and getting a tour out there with I've asked you and you won't tour.
Tessa?
Yes, Tessa Woodman C. And my email is cleanairsj@gmail.com. And I would love to speak to Gail, and I'd love to speak to Brian Darby. And it's Clean Air, which we do not have in San Jose, and it's Clean Air SJ. We do not have clean air in San Jose. I live across from a diesel bus depot on Stockton Avenue at 641 Stockton Avenue. And so I would love both of those people who are, commenting to contact me, because I love Gail, and Gail has been amazing, advocate for the homeless and that issue. And then, Brian Darby discussing Vision Zero. Thank you to both of them. And this is called a union of citizens. We need a union of citizens. And that's why I'm telling you my email. So you would send me your email. Okay, so that we can get together to make the changes, because it is going to be the people, like Greta Thunberg says, we the people are going to have to make the change, because the politicians are not making that. And that's what's happening, except for my son, who's running for mayor, and he's running Marshall Woodman C. And his agenda, his platform is make San Jose a food garden again and keep fossil fuels in the ground. That is the only agenda that is worthy of everyone's vote, because that is our survival. And we're having so many problems. And don't forget that Paul Soto is not at this meeting. He said he wouldn't be there because he was so sad over the fact that you politicians gave $5 million and yet you wanted 15,000 for somebody who's giving free food away. And the problem at that airport is that you want to expand that airport, and that's why people can't live there. And that's the problem, because you want to expand that stupid airport.
All right, that was the last public speaker. So this meeting is adjourned. Take care, everyone.